Welcome back to the Maverick Podcast, where we dive deep into the most intriguing global economic and political stories with numbers, names, and facts you need to know. I'm your host, and today we're dissecting one of the most fascinating investment stories out there, Saudi Arabia, positioned intriguingly as both a safe haven and a potential geopolitical risk. Let's set the stage. It's been 5 years since Saudi Arabia's market got included in the major global emerging market indices, notably MSCI. And here's a stunning statistic. In that short span, Saudi equities have soared past Brazil in index weight. To put it simply, if you're investing in global emerging markets, you can't afford to overlook Saudi Arabia. What's behind this meteoric rise? Well, partly it's the massive increase in the market cap of Saudi Aramco's publicly traded shares, thanks to last year's secondary public offering. But don't be mistaken, it's not all oil. There's a flood of IPOs coming onto the Saudi market, especially from sectors like retail and healthcare, with over 50 new companies set to go public just this year. Yes, 50. And here's another intriguing number. Saudi Arabia's equity market valuation now trades at a price-to-earnings ratio of about 16, slightly above the global emerging markets average of 14.6. but still far cheaper than India's sky-high valuations. But every investment has risks. Let's talk about the neighborhood. The Middle East isn't exactly known for stability. Conflict between Israel and Hamas reignited this past week, while tensions between the US and Iran are ramping up again under President Trump's renewed maximum pressure strategy. But here's where Saudi Arabia gets fascinatingly complex. Imagine this scenario. A limited military skirmish involving Iran sends oil prices skyward, similar to the short but intense spike after Russia invaded Ukraine. The kicker? Saudi Arabia remains largely untouched, continuing oil production and shipments uninterrupted. In this turbulent scenario, Saudi equities and bonds suddenly look like very attractive hedges. But there's a big but here: geopolitics. Trump has publicly expressed frustration with Saudi Arabia drifting toward China. Riyadh has strategically danced between global powers, recently declining full membership to BRICS, despite heavy courting. Meanwhile, China is Saudi Arabia's biggest trade partner. Trump isn't thrilled, bluntly stating, "They're not with us anymore. They're with China." The biggest geopolitical wildcard for Saudi Arabia is the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Trump's aggressive Israel-first policy, proposing permanent annexation of the West Bank and Gaza rebuilding on Israeli terms, has put Saudi Arabia in a tight spot. The recent emergency Arab summit in Cairo pushed back hard, demanding a clear two-state solution. Israel flatly rejected it, and Saudi Arabia faces mounting pressure to pick a side clearly. This is the scenario that could truly test Saudi Arabia's famous diplomatic balancing act, possibly pushing its delicate geopolitical strategy, dubbed cakeism, to the breaking point. To sum up, the Saudi investment story is compelling, full of promising statistics, intriguing numbers, and undeniable opportunities. But beneath the surface, geopolitical tensions simmer, threatening to boil over and turn this economic oasis into an investor's nightmare. Will Saudi Arabia manage to keep dancing between the raindrops? Thanks for joining us today on the Maverick Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to catch our next deep dive. Until next time, stay informed and stay Maverick.